Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I'm going to talk about every episode of SpongeBob SquarePants Season 6. First, I will be talking about House Fancy and Krabby Road. First, I'm going to talk about House Fancy. Enjoy. In the beginning of the episode, Squidward is at home, about to watch House Fancy, a program showcasing fancy homes. As the host, Nicholas Withers, introduces the episode's first guest, Squidward gets a phone call from Squilliam Fancyson. He reveals that the guest is none other than himself, and his phone call was just to show off to Squidward, who then notices Squilliam and Nicholas on the show. Squidward watches in anger and grows jealous as Squilliam shows off the various features of his house, which is several stories high, and includes an elevator with a built-in hot tub, decorative toilets with golden toilet paper holders, a garden on the rooftop, as well as a 130-foot sculpture of Squilliam's unibrow that consists solely of gilded doorknobs. In the end, Squidward gets so enraged with Squilliam's boastful attitude, that he calls Nicholas and tells him that he has a much fancier home than Squilliam. Nicholas gives Squidward 2 hours to prepare. Squidward realizes what he has done and desperately tries to make his house fancier, as well as himself, as he mentions how he doesn't have any time to wash up, but with no success. He spots SpongeBob outside his window, who admits he has been spying on Squidward for days, right down to watching him watch House Fancy. Squidward reluctantly allows SpongeBob to help, but SpongeBob admits that Patrick is borrowing his brain for the weekend in exchange for a couple of chocolate bars, and each time Squidward gives him a task, SpongeBob does it recklessly, leading to disastrous results, and in one task, SpongeBob inadvertently wounds Squidward's foot. Soon, Squidward hears the doorbell ring, and assuming that it is Nicholas, he tells SpongeBob to clean up the mess with a vacuum while he heads to the other room to dress his wound. But once again, SpongeBob does the task recklessly by attempting to increase the vacuum's power after assuming how messy Squidward's house is, only to inadvertently cause it to go haywire and suck up everything in the living room just as Squidward returns from dressing his wound. SpongeBob attempts to turn it off, but he gets sucked in. Squidward attempts to fix the situation while desperately telling the person outside the door to wait, only for the person to reveal themselves to be Patrick, who needs to use Squidward's restroom. Once Patrick leaves, Squidward's toilet comes to life for a brief moment and crawls out of the bathroom, before jumping into Squidward's arms and immediately dying from whatever Patrick did. Patrick then briefly returns to give SpongeBob his brain back, unaware that SpongeBob is stuck in the vacuum. Fortunately, the vacuum sucks brain into the bag, where SpongeBob, who's eating either one or both of the 2 chocolate bars, retrieves it. Immediately after that, the vacuum reaches full capacity, causing the vacuum bag, which is already massive, to increase in size even more uncontrollably and explode, destroying the house, though naturally, the 2 neighbors survive. However, when Nicholas and Squilliam come over and see what's left of Squidward's house, the former views it as a work of abstract art and proclaims that his house is even better than the latter's, much to Squilliam's shock and Squidward's surprise. Nicholas then declares that Squidward's house will be featured in a 1-hour commercial-free House Fancy special, and Squidward is now crowned House Fancy Prince of the Year. The ending of the episode leads to Squilliam crying since he has lost, and Squidward is happy with the help of SpongeBob, who tries to comfort Squilliam by giving him some advice in redecorating. Next, I'm going to talk about Krabby Road. Enjoy. The episode opens with Frank the policeman showing a new cop around the prison. He then shows him the number 1 inmate, Plankton, who went to prison for stealing the Krabby Patty's secret formula. However, because his cell is not locked, he hides under Frank's mustache and escapes, the mustache becoming Plankton's hair. He returns to the chum bucket, only for Karen to kick him out, calling him a 2-time loser, implying that he may have been arrested before and that she is fed up that he hasn't learned from it, and give him his old guitar. Plankton then hears SpongeBob singing about a Krabby Patty while censoring out the ingredients with noises. Plankton asks him to sing it uncensored, however, SpongeBob mistakes this as Plankton wanting him to join his band. Plankton rolls with it in hopes of stealing the formula. SpongeBob then runs into Patrick and decides to let Patrick join due to his ability to play his stomach like a drum. Squidward begins criticizing them due to their lack of musical talent. However, when asked to join the band, he accepts with the thought of becoming famous. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton then start practicing while Squidward works out to look good. SpongeBob tells Patrick that he should dress with more pizzazz to look better for the band. Patrick shows SpongeBob his ponytail that he grew naturally. He then does tricks with his hair and grows more hair and sideburns. Plankton returns with band shirts naming their band, Plankton and the Patty Stealers. Despite this, they are still oblivious to Plankton's true intentions. They quickly start working on their music afterward. Patrick keeps the seats warm, literally, since he puts a fire under the seats while Plankton takes out his recording equipment and tries to record SpongeBob's Krabby Patty song, but he is unable to find it and his equipment overloads when Patrick wears the headphones. Plankton breaks down crying since his plan failed, but SpongeBob gives him hope, as Mr. Krabs lets them play at the Krusty Krab after hours. Meanwhile, now having achieved his perfect dream body, Squidward finally goes to practice. A week later, the band is all on their way to the Krusty Krab when a cop shows up in a police car. To prevent him from being recognized as an escaped convict, SpongeBob hides Plankton inside of his nose, disguised as a piece of dried nasal mucus. However, the police think nothing of it and drive off. The band then arrives at the Krusty Krab as Plankton unlocks the door. Plankton immediately starts searching for the formula while the rest of his band rehearses. SpongeBob notices this and soon realizes that the band was another one of Plankton's dastardly schemes and becomes furious. Plankton tries to prove his innocence but the police come and arrest Plankton for his escape. Now bald and imprisoned again, he is given a new cell inside of a safe. Plankton protests this act by voicing that he liked his old cell, but the guards slyly state they have a feeling that he'll love this one. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward visit him in prison, saying that their next performance would occur after his 22-year sentencing. The episode closes with them practicing and Plankton being tortured by it as he shrieks agonizingly. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.